The Hugh Jackman Diaries.
The Melbourne Comedy Festival. For me, it means one thing. Hundreds of earnest performers doing their best in some weird-ass experiment to make entertainment without CGI and away from Broadway. Obviously, it can't be done. But still, there's something I like about it. I like watching comedians. They're funny. Especially that bit that happens in all the acts I see, where I shout out, "How many Oscar ceremonies have you hosted? Huh? None. No Oscar. No Oscar. Hey, no Oscar. Tell us a joke." The best comedy show I saw was the one with all the dim sims that flew at the comedian's head. I saw it with Stephen Dennis. How he managed to smuggle in that bag of dimmies, I'll never know. What an artist. Comedy is all about the element of surprise. And the look of surprise on the comedian's face that night was comedy gold. This year, I've decided to stage my own comedy festival. There's no way I'm going to hold it in any town hall or communist hall or some poncy little city bar with a name like the European Ballsack Lounge or the Elephant and Beaver Bar or Royal Insertion House or something. No, my show is going to be held at what is, for me, the spiritual home of mirth, merriment and cutting-edge entertainment, the Burvale Hotel car park. I'll always remember my first time at the Burvale. Stefan introduced me to it. He called me up and said he had a big day of filming the next day, starting early in the morning, so had to get totally trolleyed at the Burvale in Vermont in the eastern suburbs. I said, "What the hell is that?" He said, "It's a big awesome pub." I said, "No, that other word, suburb. I've never heard of such a place. It sounds horrible." He said, "It's a big place, but I'd love it." I wasn't sure, but if life's journey has taught me anything, it's to always trust a soap star on the piss. I told Stefan I'd see him soon. I got in a cab and told the cabbie to take me to a place called the Suburbs. He said, "Could I be more specific?" That's the problem with cabbies these days. They don't even know their way around town. I said, "I can't be more specific. I'm going to meet my mate Stefan Dennis." He said, "You want to go to the Burvale?" I said, "Good man." He started driving. After a while, I saw an ATM up ahead. I asked if he wouldn't mind pulling over for a minute. He obliged. I walked over to the ATM, pulled out my texter and tagged it, then went to the servo next door, bought some chewy, chewed it, then stuck globs of it all over the ATM screen and jumped back in the cab. "Thanks for that," I said. He drove on. I pointed to a house up ahead. I asked him to stop out the front. I ran into the front yard and threw handfuls of mud at the doors and windows, shouting, "Maggie Tabra is a bushpick doodah, doodah." Some lights came on. I bolted back into the cab. "Drive," I said. He obliged. The cabbie said he didn't realise Maggie T lived in that house. I said, "She doesn't." "Who does?" he said. "How the hell should I know?" I said. We got to the Burvale. I didn't have any cash to pay him, but he seemed pretty happy with the iPad I'd nicked off some desk that I came across when I'd excused myself to go to the toilet at that dinner at Koshy's place the previous week. I went into the Burvale and found Stefan in the TAB outlet. He was swearing and declaring a violent revenge on some greyhound at Sandown. Then he slumped to the floor and started crying. He sure knew how to party. Years later, that's exactly how I would spend the day of my wedding to my wife, Deborah Lee Finesse, swearing and crying at monitors, at the TAB, at the Burvale, before the wedding ceremony and after. And I've never revealed this to anyone, but it's also what I did both times I bolted during the ceremony. A lot of happy memories in that place. Me and Steph spent the rest of the night in the lounge drinking chartreuse, and when they turned their back, we drank whatever other people were drinking. The joint shut and we hung out in the car park the rest of the night, and the next day, and night. Having good clean fun, doing burnouts in Stefan's Hyundai Excel, smashing bottles, and flicking cigarettes at school kids walking past. And that's where I'll stage me comedy festival show. It'll be high concept, but intimate. Basically, audience numbers will be limited to 10 people. I'd jump in one of them big skips and they'd all push me around the car park in it while I sang along to Children of Bodom's latest metal masterpiece, being blasted from the stereo in Stefan's XL. Everyone would film it on their phones. I love that interactive multimedia performance art shit. You won't find the show in any festival guide. Screw that. You know how much it costs to get in that guide? I've got better things to do with my money than spend it. Besides, I've always found that not paying for something is a lot cheaper than paying for it. Those who come see it with an open mind will be rewarded. How could they not? It is, after all, me, the one and only, the king of the mountain, the lord of the jungle, the god of the car park. Hugh Jackman.
The Hugh Jackman Diaries.